absolutely flat. We've been pointing out that there's been a good recovery which has taken place in the global markets. Induslnd, after that intraday recovery that we saw, is now back down around 1% odd. So there was a little bit of a spike that we saw, but now it's been pretty much sold into. Otherwise, not looking too bad, but we haven't really toed the line with the global markets in terms of an intraday recovery that we are seeing. Yes, the Nifty's moved into the green, but if you put it in terms of the context of the recovery, it's not as much as the global space. But nonetheless, now let's focus on a CNBC TV18 exclusive. Sources tell CNBC TV18 that IHH is bringing in funds as FDI for buying Fortis, and that is going to boost the dollar supply in the forex market. Nisha Podar has this exclusive. Nisha, what are your sources telling you on Fortis, the board revamp, as well as this particular inflow?
First, to the larger impact, Ekta, of course, foreign direct investment coming into the country by way of mergers and acquisitions can really rev up rupee, and that's exactly what we are seeing today. $550 million is likely to have been paid by IHH for the Fortis transaction, and that money we gather from sources with direct knowledge has been routed through HDFC Bank, and such a huge amount of FDI inflow coming in has definitely given some leg up to rupee, is what we are gathering at this point. So this is really the consummation of the transaction, the first tranche of payments really coming in, almost 4,000 odd crore rupees for Fortis. Now, the second step would be the board expansion. So, IHH is likely to get the board approval from Fortis Healthcare for nominating their own board members. 4 of them are likely to be set on the board by the end of the day today. There could be some announcement to that effect, is what we are gathering. Also, remember that management changes need to be taken up at Fortis. The CEO's position is empty. We do gather from our sources that Ajay Bakshi, who heads the India operations of IHH, is the likely contender, the front runner for taking up the CEO's position for Fortis Healthcare after IHH really takes over the company. So really, this large transaction that has been lingering on for about a couple of years now is really seeing the last final stages. The first tranche of payment being made by IHH. The next tranche and the next step would also be the buyout of RHT. So that money could be going out from Fortis Healthcare to RHT for really buying out their investors as well. So that needs to be keenly watched out for, but rupee definitely smiling in trade today because of the FDI inflows.
Okay, all right, Nisha. But would there be any change in terms of the chairman of the board of Fortis also, or would that continue? Because that was a transitory kind of board readjustment that took place.
But I don't think that there would be all the board members would be changed. The independent directors, as per my knowledge, the last that I checked from my sources, are likely to stay on as independent directors, and so that there is some continuity. And also IHH will require some independent directors, so those directors from the past could really continue, the 3 of them who are there.
Okay, all right. Thanks very much for that, Nisha. So that's on Fortis, but let's get in some F&O strategies now. We have Gaurav Bissaf, LKP Securities, joining in. Gaurav, over to you. Recommendations, F&O strategies at this point?
Good morning. First, the Nifty, it has taken a bounce back from 10,440, 450 zone, the immediate support zone. And basically, looking at the option data, we expect some more bounce that can be expected in Nifty. Strong addition is seen at levels of 10,640. So small trade for 100 points can be initiated at current price, stop loss of 10,440, 450, and that would be for next 2 or 3 days. As far as stock specific recommendation are concerned, the first recommendation will be buy on Indian Bank. About 6% OI addition has been seen today so far in just a couple of hours, and it's been trading a range coming out of range. Indian Bank on hourly charts, we have seen a breakout. It can easily go towards the level of 230, 25 in next 2 days. When we keep a small sub of 219, buy Indian Bank. Second recommendation would be buy on Siemens futures. About 3% OI addition has been seen today. Another name that has seen a breakout on hourly charts. It's seen a strong correction in last 3-4 days. So technical bounce back on ways of short covering cannot be ruled out. When you keep a support of 915, immediate target for this would be 945 to 955.
Thanks very much. Appreciate you joining in with those trading ideas. The markets perked up a little bit more with the day's high, the Bank Nifty, the Nifty, both of them. And this is this turn for the higher is happening as you know, it's not a big move, but it's synchronized for what it's worth. And markets are bouncing off the day's low. So let's see if we can build on it. We take a very quick break. As promised, we get you the management of Britannia on the other side. Varun Berry of Britannia coming up.